I would say just for our team, it was really good, especially how we finish our non-conference schedule. So just coming out here and having a performance on defense and offense like that is a good confidence boost for our team because we've been working pretty hard.
Yeah, we just wanted to just come off today, and just capitalize off the last game. Hawaii had a heartbreaking loss, so we just wanted to come out New Year and just get the dub for us.
You knew going into today you weren't going to have Steph, and then Zurich went out after playing, 8 minutes? How do you and the rest of the guards sort of regroup and try to fill his role, and what's the toughest part to replace when he goes down?
I feel like for the most part, we compete every day in practice, so it's like we just filling in each other's spots to just make sure that we don't mess up when it comes down to the. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. You go ahead and talk about it.
I would say for us, just competing in practice every day. Coach Warren told me to shout out the Red Squad. Some of the guys who come off the bench, but in certain points have given us sparks. And we saw Keon a couple of days ago in Hawaii had his career high, and we just, guys coming off the bench. We're trying to do whatever. It helps to let the team win, and we're competing every day. And then it showed today. With us scoring, but every day our guys are just working to be the next man up whenever we need it. So it's good for our team, and when we get those other guys back, it'll help us even more.
Yeah, we're all capable. Whenever our number is called, we're all ready to go whenever the time is to go and play.
What does that do for you when you feel like you've put in that work, but you actually do see it come to fruition in a game like that?
I feel like it's more so satisfying. That it's showing now. You get the opportunity to go out there and show what you've been doing. So when you're in the game and it's showing, you feel proud of yourself that you're actually doing the right thing. So it just makes you keep on going.
Yeah, I would say just like a refreshing feeling, and especially for the guys on our team. Everyone's excited about it. They're excited to see guys who have been putting in work and who haven't gotten to show the results on the court, but are putting in that work every day in practice. And all our teammates are happy for each other because we can see the work we're putting in when we're competing every day. So just a refreshing feeling, not just individually, but for the team as a whole.
Several of you had season highs, including both of you. Ricardo, you played a lot at Marist, and you've been sort of waiting your turn in a sense with a kind of crowded backcourt. And you talk about how competitive you all are at practice, but how hard is it to keep your focus and your energy and your enthusiasm for a day like today when your number's finally called to take on a bigger role?
For me, I know it's been very hard, just not playing and just watching. But I take everything into consideration and just accepting whatever's thrown my way, and not getting frustrated with what I can't control. So like today, me stepping up, it was just something I was been waiting for, and I actually got the opportunity to show what I was capable of doing, and I did a good job.
Was the three-point shooting a little contagious today? It seemed like a bunch of guys were hitting them, a bunch of guys were hitting multiple ones. Is that something where you guys just kind of feed off the energy of somebody else making one?
Yeah. I'd say we don't shoot too many threes. I think we shoot 15 threes a game,
14.
but just kind of the energy of us, playing on defense and making shots, seeing guys who have been making shots in practice, make them in the game. It was just, energy bouncing off each other, and it lifted the whole team up for real.
Yeah, I could say the same thing because I know I probably didn't hit a three the whole season until today, and then I ended up hitting three. Just seeing one go in just really opened it up for everybody else, including myself. So just seeing the ball goes in really built our confidence up in the game.
Coaches always talk about assist to turnover ratios, and I don't know what the final number was, but with a few minutes left, it was 24 to 8 or something. What was the key to the ball movement today? What was working?
Not force anything. Just take what they're giving you and just, be patient on offense. No need to rush, and just stay composed and whenever the pressure is on us, to be honest.
I'd say the same thing, just really trying to move that ball side to side and, play off each other. We didn't have Zurich this game, and he's really good at creating his own shot. So this is great. It was great for our team to see, when we don't have a scorer like him in the game, all of us, moving that ball, and we looked a lot more balanced tonight on offense, and it showed in the way we moved the ball today. Even other guys, they were doubling on some of our post-ups, and we were able to kick out, spray one more, and hit threes. So I think it's good for our whole team to tighten up on them turnovers and then really just getting better at playing with each other and playing off each other.
You follow this up by a trip to go see the number 3 team in the country. So when you think about everything that went well today, what is most important for you guys to carry forward to Houston?
I know Houston's a great defensive team, so we really just got to maintain their defensive intensity and not let that affect our offense, and then just be aggressive on defense and not make mental mistakes when it come down to us.
I'd say the same thing. I'd say, they're a well-coached team, very disciplined team, and they play really hard. So coming into this game, it was good to have this under our belt. We'll celebrate it today, but just coming in there ready to fight and compete and play tough, because that's the only chance, you have playing against a team like that. So if we do all those 3 things, fight, compete, and just, be tough, I think we'll have a good chance to compete in that game, and it'll be a fun one, too.
Happy New Year. Obviously proud of the guys, 25 assists in a game speaks to how connected we're becoming. I think we started down that path a little bit, on the road when we were in Hawaii. You could see us kind of coming together on defense and starting to play a little bit better together on offense. In the absence of Zurich and Steph, for us to make that many threes. And, defensively we were pretty good. We had a great stretch in the second half, but we fouled a little too much, put them on the free throw line. But in general, just really proud of the guys, the contributions that the guys off the bench made, and the energy of our team. It took us a while to re-engage, but it netted out in a good place where we really played with the kind of connectivity that it felt like we were starting to establish, so that was encouraging.
When you talk about the 25 assists, and obviously Zurich went out early, is that an indication that maybe when you have a scorer as talented as he is, sometimes it's a natural tendency to sort of stand back and watch him create rather than moving the ball in the previous games?
No, I just think it's a matter of our growth as a team. I think he's getting that. And we were forced into that situation tonight, and it helped. And, we shot 26 threes, that's not normal for us. But some of that is the fact that Ricardo and Emory accounted for 9 of those, and those guys are the guys who take a lot of the threes in practice, but they haven't played as much. And so those are good shooters who don't play as much, but they accounted for a number of the threes tonight. And Jalen needs to be more aggressive. Zurich's impact on the game does not prevent Jalen from being more aggressive. Jalen needs to look at the basket more. He's a good shooter. He's a good offensive player. He does that to himself, and we're encouraging him to be. So Zurich celebrates everybody's success. He does command a certain level of attention and opportunities, but he's comfortable with other people's success. That's why he's going to continue to grow as a player.
What have you seen the last 4 games that started in Hawaii that kind of some things seem to be clicking a little bit better for this group right now?
Yeah, we tweaked some things offensively that I think have helped put guys in situations that are more conducive to them flourishing. That's just, we all have to do this in coaching from time to time, is look at what's going on and it's not working, and assess it and try to change. And so, I used to be too dumb. It was just going to keep trying to do it my way. And what's best for Zach? Because whatever we're doing, Zurich kind of going to stand out. But what's going to help F.A. and Sam and these other guys and Steph? And so we had a break of about 10 days during exams, and I flew to Atlanta and tried to just kind of get away and figure out, how could I help these guys, because I didn't feel like I was doing a good job helping them. But if you come back And we had like 5 days of practice before we went to Hawaii, and we added basically a new offense. But they have to do it. They have to get it down. They have to buy into it. And so the credit goes to them. And so we had two-a-days, and we were trying to, in a short period of time, do things that were more conducive. But for that to carry over into games against Iona and Utah State and on the road, for them to be able to do that, that is a real credit to them. And we still got a long way to go with this stuff, but it's helped quite a bit.
Several of your guys had a season high or career high today, but one of them that you mentioned, Ricardo Wright, he only had 54 minutes coming into today in 13 games. Today, obviously, you're a little bit shorthanded when Zerk went down. But he had 17 minutes. He hit 3 threes. I'm wondering your thoughts, not just about the offense he gave you, but his ability to stay sharp and enthusiastic and focused while waiting for his number to be called.
That's everything. You just said it. Like his attitude has allowed for that, because I do think he trusts us, and he knows, like, he averaged 14 points a game in Division I last year. So this is not like a guy who's not capable of doing that. Like what he did today, he does that in practice every day. Defensively, effort-wise, his grasp of what's going on, scouting, defensive concepts, what we're running, like when he tightens that stuff up, he's a regular in the rotation and a guy who's a threat. And I'm glad he put it on film, because people would see that this is what this guy's capable of doing. But it's, you can only play so many guys, right? And so we're trying to establish a defensive culture and a culture of toughness. And so some guys, have established more of an ability to grasp some of those things, and it's been slow coming to him. But his attitude has allowed him to do what happened tonight. And now I would imagine it'd be hard to keep him out of the rotation. And I hope that's the case.
How big, just for this group, was the end of the first half, went on that 7-0 run after they had tied it back up, take a nice lead into the second half, and then build that lead, withstand a little bit of push from them, and then push it out to the end.
Yeah, that was all of that was important. And like I said, that stretch in the second half where we had Mo and Keon, I think it was Emory, Zach, maybe Jalen or Jefferson. There was a stretch there where that team really ramped up the energy level defensively. We had like 4 or 5 possessions with a deflection or a steal or a rebound and a run out, and we were converting in transition. It was a really big stretch there that was set up by the sequence that you're referring to.
You've talked several times this year about Samuel Williamson, how he does much more for you than just points. But today he gets 17, shot the ball pretty well, got a three-pointer. How important is it for him to see the offensive reward for all the work you've talked about? And is this the kind of performance that can springboard him to another level going forward?
Well, I don't know if today will be the springboard, but I do think it's coming. Like he's a worker, and I believe in him. I got a lot of trust in him. He's very proud, so sometimes his pride can get the better of him. But that's kind of what I like about him too, is that he's got some moxie to him, and he expects to be great, and he thinks he's the best dude out there, and I think there's something to be said for that. And inside of that, there's a certain level of effort and energy you got to play with, and he's a guy that, whether he's scoring or not, he can impact the game in so many ways, and I don't want him to lose sight of that. So I want him to score because he's capable and we need it. But he can defend, he can rebound, he's got a high IQ, we can use him at the point if we have to. There's a lot of things he brings to the floor, and so scoring is just one part of that. And so I'm glad for him to see the ball go through the basket, because that is a big part of what he's capable of doing, and it only makes us better.
The deflections and everything, but to have 5 blocks, 6 steals, a number of deflections, how much does that help you then put up a season high 92 points when some of that defense does turn into offense for this group?
That's really what it was. Obviously the ball went through the basket, but I think, when you're defending like that, for that stretch, you do shoot the ball with a little bit more confidence. When the ball is moving and good shooters are taking open shots, you shoot the ball with more confidence. So that's great. And so I think all of those things go together. It's funny, we were saying on the bench that there were times where we were trying hard on defense, but our offense was so bad that it was affecting our defensive energy. And there was a stretch tonight, the fact that we were scoring, that made our defense stink a little bit because we got comfortable and we started playing the scoreboard a little bit, and then we snapped out of that and finished the game the right way.
You knew, obviously, coming into today that you weren't going to have Steph Todorovic, he didn't dress. And then when Zurich went out, he looked like he was pretty uncomfortable over there on the bench with you. What can you tell us about their injuries or when you might expect either of them back?
Well, if you saw the game on TV against Hawaii, you saw the way Steph turned that ankle. So it makes sense that he ain't quite back yet, but he should be, ready by midweek. And Zurich hurt himself and in practice the other day and made his way back, but he was questionable coming into the game. So there was a part of us that thought maybe he might not be there the whole time. And so we had communicated to the guys on the bench who don't generally play as much that this game could be different for them. And to their credit, they were ready.
We just got a tough one going to the number 3 team in the country, possibly without Zurich. How do you prepare do you prepare any differently if you have him, if you don't have him, and just how do you prepare for a team that's looking like they are right now?
Well, we just got to keep getting better and fighting. Coach Sampson is, I love Rick Barnes. That's my guy, so I never think of him as somebody. I look up to Rick Barnes, but I don't think of it like that because he's like family, so I do admire him. I look up to him. I love him. But him aside, there's nobody in the profession that I admire more than I admire Coach Sampson. And he's always been good to me. He's been a resource for me. When I was a young head coach, I'd call him, he'd take my call and give me advice. That's who he is in our profession. And so it's a great opportunity for our team. And I'm excited about it because they are the epitome of toughness and grit. And we're trying to establish that. And so I'm happy to be confronted with that because we're trending that way. We're not there yet. And so we're either going to measure up or we're going to learn. So it's a great opportunity for us.